The facade. The holographic display flickered in the dimly lit command center buried 2 kilometers beneath Olympus Mons on Mars. Commander Eliza Rice studied the alien vessel casually drifting through the outer reaches of the solar system. Its sleek, crystalline structure glimmered against the backdrop of distant stars as it conducted what it believed was a covert scan of Earth's defenses. Another tour scout, Technical Director Maya Patel, confirmed from her station. "That's the 5th one this month. They're getting bolder." Commander Rice nodded, her dark eyes never leaving the display. And why wouldn't they be? According to their scans, we're still struggling with chemical propulsion and basic satellite technology. The room fell silent as everyone present contemplated the elaborate deception they'd maintained for nearly 3 decades. The deception protocol had been humanity's greatest gambit, an unprecedented strategy implemented shortly after detecting the first signs of advanced alien civilizations. Rather than announcing their discovery and risking unwanted attention, Earth's leadership made the controversial decision to hide, not by concealing their existence, but by presenting a carefully constructed facade of technological inadequacy. Status of the masking field? Rice asked. 100% operational, replied Lieutenant Wei Chen from the operations console. All advanced installations remain hidden. The scout will only see what we want them to see. A few primitive orbital platforms, some outdated satellites, and a handful of chemical rockets. Our quantum arrays are completely masked. Rice allowed herself a small smile. The Tor Collective, like the other spacefaring civilizations they'd encountered, saw exactly what they expected to see: a young species taking its first clumsy steps into space. None of them knew about the antimatter production facilities in the asteroid belt, the quantum drive systems, or the fleet of advanced warships hidden in underground facilities across Earth, Mars, and Titan. "They're transmitting," Maya announced, her fingers dancing across her console. Directed tight beam communication toward the Ta City system. The alien language filled the room, automatically translated by their AI systems. Scout Report 1429B. Species designation: human remains at pre-FTL development stage. Technology advancement minimal since last assessment. Military capability negligible. Recommendation: proceed with preliminary colonization protocol. These primitives will benefit from our guidance. Wei Chen scoffed. Primitives, if they only knew. And they won't know, Rice said firmly, until the moment we choose. This was humanity's advantage. Being underestimated gave them time. Time to build, to prepare, to advance far beyond what anyone suspected. The leaders of Earth had studied history and recognized a pattern. When technologically advanced civilizations encountered less developed ones, the outcome rarely favored the latter. They wouldn't allow Earth to become anyone's colony. Rice's secure tablet chimed with a priority message from the Unified Earth Defense Council. Her heart quickened as she read it. "The Council has approved Operation Revelation," she announced, looking up at her team. The Tor intelligence reports were the final evidence they needed. Maya's eyes widened. "So soon. I thought we were still years away from disclosure." The Tor Collective's preliminary colonization protocol has accelerated our timeline, Rice explained. According to deep cover intelligence, they're not planning a peaceful first contact. They intend to establish a presence in our system under the guise of helping us develop, effectively making Earth a protectorate before we're ready for galactic politics. A velvet glove conquest, Wei muttered. "Precisely," Rice nodded. "The Council has decided it's time to show our hand, but only to the Tors. The rest of the galactic community can continue underestimating us for now." She activated the command center's primary communication system. "Alert all hidden installations. Phantom Fleet is to begin preparation for Phase 1 of Operation Revelation. Tell Admiral Kaido that the Eclipse is authorized for deployment." Deep within the Valles Marineris Canyon system on Mars, in a cavern complex that appeared on no official maps, the UES Eclipse powered up its systems. The first of Earth's Phantom Fleet, the Eclipse was the culmination of decades of secret development. A warship that incorporated technologies the rest of the galaxy believed impossible for humans to possess. Admiral Takeshi Kato stood on the Eclipse's bridge, watching as his crew prepared for their first real mission. The ship itself was a marvel of human engineering. Quantum-entangled communications, gravitational manipulation fields, and energy weapons systems that could match anything known to exist in the galaxy. All systems online, his executive officer, Commander Sophia Diaz, reported. Quantum drive nominal. Defensive arrays at full capacity. Stealth systems engage. Kato nodded, feeling the subtle vibration of the ship's power core through the deck plating. Begin launch sequence. Remember, people, this isn't a drill. For the first time, we're showing a piece of our hand. Make it count. The massive cavern doors above them began to part, revealing the rusty Martian sky. The Eclipse rose silently into space, its advanced propulsion leaving no trace of its passage. Set course for the L4 Lagrange point, Kaito ordered. We'll take position there and await the Tor arrival. According to intelligence, their assistance fleet will be here within 48 hours. As the Eclipse accelerated away from Mars, Commander Reyes watched from her command center. The game they'd been playing for 30 years was about to change. The galaxy thought they knew humanity's capabilities. They were wrong. They thought Earth was defenseless. They were about to learn otherwise. Maintain surveillance on all known observer vessels, she instructed her team. The Arcturians near Jupiter and the Meridian probe by Saturn should remain unaware of our activities. We're only revealing ourselves to the Tors for now. Maya nodded, already working to ensure their deception remained intact for all other watching eyes. The Tor scout is departing the system, likely to report back personally. Based on their previous patterns, they'll return with what they consider an overwhelming force. Let them come, Rice said. It's time they learned that appearances can be deceiving. In the days that followed, activity throughout Earth's hidden installations reached a fever pitch, while the public remained blissfully unaware, living their lives beneath a carefully maintained illusion of isolation in the universe. Humanity's true defenses prepared to reveal themselves. The Tor Collective, with their translucent skin and 4 eyes adapted to the dim light of their home world, had spent centuries expanding their influence across the galaxy. Their approach was consistent. Identify developing species, establish a presence under the guise of assistance, and gradually integrate them into their hierarchy as junior partners, effectively vassals with little real autonomy. Their preliminary reports on humanity had been promising. The species showed potential but remained confined to their solar system with primitive technology, perfect candidates for Tor guidance. What they didn't know, what no one outside a select group of humans knew, was that Earth had detected their first probes over 30 years ago. Rather than announcing their discovery or attempting to hide, humanity had chosen a third path: deception on a planetary scale. While maintaining the appearance of normal technological development, Earth's nations had secretly united to create advanced technologies far beyond what they publicly displayed. The discovery of quantum manipulation had been humanity's breakthrough, allowing for advancements in energy production, propulsion, and weaponry that would have astonished the galactic community. In orbiting shipyards hidden by advanced cloaking technology, humanity had built a fleet. In underground facilities, they had trained crews, all while maintaining the facade of a species that had barely reached its own moon. 43 hours after the Eclipse took position at the L4 point, sensors detected the Tor fleet entering the solar system. 7 vessels in total, what the Tors considered an overwhelming force for a primitive world. They're not even trying to hide their approach, Admiral Kato noted as he studied the tactical display. No stealth measures, weapons systems online. They expect no resistance. Commander Diaz nodded. According to their transmissions, they're already preparing their introduction packages and selecting locations for their first administrative centers. Kato allowed himself a small smile. Let's adjust their itinerary. While the Tor fleet advanced confidently toward Earth, messages flashed through humanity's hidden communication network. The eclipse would not face them alone. From concealed bases across the solar system, 5 additional warships of the Phantom Fleet broke cover, their stealth systems keeping them invisible to standard Tor sensors. On Earth itself, the public was told that unusual astronomical phenomena might be visible in the night sky, a cover story for what was about to unfold. In the command center beneath Olympus Mons, Commander Reyes watched as the pieces moved into position. "It's time," she said quietly. "Begin Operation Revelation." The unveiling. The Tor flagship Benevolent Guidance led the small fleet toward the third planet of the unremarkable Yellow Star. Fleet Commander Zorix stood on the command deck, 4 eyes scanning the various displays showing Earth's primitive defenses, a handful of satellites, a small space station, and a few chemical-propelled vessels. "Pathetic," his second-in-command Merrill commented, translucent fingers adjusting the long-range scanners. "According to archives, they've been at this level of development for nearly 50 solar cycles. Barely any progress at all." Zorix fluttered his breathing membranes in agreement. "They clearly need our intervention." The Collective Council was wise to authorize this mission. "Begin preparations for first contact protocols. Diplomatic approach with visible military presence." "Yes, Commander." "Calculating optimal positioning to display our..." Merrill's words died as proximity alarms suddenly blared across the command deck. "Multiple unknown contacts." The sensor operator shouted, confusion evident in her voice. 6 vessels. They appeared out of nowhere. "Impossible," Zorix snapped. "Check your equipment. Human technology cannot." "This is Admiral Takeshi Kaido of the United Earth Ship Eclipse." A calm human voice interrupted over all communication channels. "Your fleet has entered sovereign human territory with weapons systems activated. This constitutes an aggressive action. Power down your weapons and maintain position." Stunned silence filled the Tor command deck. Zorix stared at the main display where 6 vessels now surrounded his fleet in perfect formation. The ships were unlike anything in their human technology database. Sleek, angular crafts with no visible propulsion systems, their dark hulls absorbing rather than reflecting light. "Where did they come from?" Merrill whispered. "Our scans showed nothing." "Scan those vessels," Zorix ordered, his professional composure returning. "Full spectrum analysis." The sensor operator worked frantically, then looked up with all 4 eyes widened in disbelief. "Commander, these readings, they indicate technologies at least equivalent to our own, possibly superior in some aspects. Energy signatures suggest quantum-based systems. This is not consistent with any previous data on human development." Zorix felt cold dread settling in his gut. The Collective had made a catastrophic intelligence error. Aboard the Eclipse, Admiral Kaido watched the Tor fleet's reaction with grim satisfaction. "They're running intensive scans on us," Commander Diaz reported, "and transmitting massive data bursts back to their home system." "Let them," Kaido said. "That's part of the plan. The Collective needs to understand exactly what they're dealing with." He opened the communication channel again. "Fleet Commander Zorix, your intelligence on humanity is outdated and deliberately misleading. We detected your civilization decades ago and chose to observe before revealing ourselves. What you see now is a fraction of our capability." On the Benevolent Guidance, Zorix struggled to process this development. Their entire approach to this species had been based on the assumption of technological inferiority. If these humans had managed to conceal their true capabilities for decades, what else were they hiding? "We come in peace," he attempted, falling back on diplomatic protocols. "The Tor Collective wishes only to establish friendly relations and offer technological assistance." "Your internal communications indicate plans for administrative centers and integration protocols," Kaido interrupted. "You came to colonize, not to assist. The difference is significant." Zorix's breathing membranes fluttered in alarm. They had been monitoring their communications as well. "There appears to be a misunderstanding." There is no misunderstanding. A new voice cut in. This is Commander Eliza Reyes of Earth Unified Defense. We have monitored your collective's expansion patterns across 12 star systems. Your assistance invariably results in effective vassalage for the species you help. Earth will not be added to that list. Zorik signaled frantically to his weapons officer, but before the Tor fleet could respond, precisely targeted energy pulses from the human vessels disabled their primary weapon systems. That was a demonstration. Admiral Cato continued calmly. We have no desire for conflict, but we will not be subjugated. The terms of our future relationship with the Tor Collective will be negotiated between equals, or not at all. In the command center beneath Olympus Mons, Commander Reyes watched the confrontation unfold with tense anticipation. Everything depended on how the Tors responded to this revelation. If they chose escalation, the conflict could spread beyond the solar system. They're powering down secondary weapon systems, Maya reported, and their engines have shifted to maintenance levels. I think they're standing down. Reyes nodded, relief washing through her. Maintain surveillance. Let's see what they do next. Fleet Commander Zorix knew when he was outmatched. Whatever intelligence failure had led them here, the immediate priority was preventing further escalation. We accept your terms for the moment, he transmitted. The collective will need to reassess our understanding of human civilization. A wise decision, Admiral Cato responded. We will escort your fleet to a designated position where diplomatic representatives can meet to discuss future relations. As the combined fleet moved toward Earth's orbit, news of the encounter spread rapidly through secure channels. In cities around the world, selected officials were briefed on what had truly been happening above their heads. The time for total secrecy was ending, at least internally. Humanity would need to prepare for its new role on the galactic stage. In the days that followed, the first formal diplomatic contact between humanity and the Tor Collective took place aboard the International Space Station, chosen deliberately for its primitive appearance despite being equipped with advanced hidden technologies. The Tor diplomats, still reeling from the revelation of humanity's true capabilities, approached the negotiations with newfound respect and caution. Their reports back to the Collective Council painted a picture of a species that had masterfully deceived multiple galactic civilizations, developing in secret while appearing vulnerable. You must understand our confusion, the lead Tor diplomat, Nelara, admitted during one session. No species in our recorded history has voluntarily appeared weaker than they are. It defies logical developmental patterns. Human history suggested a different approach, explained Secretary General Okonkwo, Earth's chosen representative. When technologically advanced societies encounter less developed ones, the less advanced rarely benefit from the exchange. We chose to develop on our own terms before revealing ourselves. The Tors were beginning to understand that they had encountered something unprecedented, a species that had studied galactic politics from the shadows and crafted a strategy to emerge as an equal rather than a subordinate. As the negotiations continued, Earth gradually revealed more of its true nature to the wider galaxy. The Arcturians, Meridians, and other observing species reacted with varying degrees of shock, admiration, and concern. The galactic balance of power shifted as civilizations reassessed their understanding of the unassuming yellow star system they had dismissed for so long. In the command center beneath Olympus Mons, Commander Reyes and Admiral Cato watched a live feed from the diplomatic conference. Do you think we revealed ourselves too soon? Reyes asked. Cato considered the question. Perhaps, but the alternative was allowing the Tors to establish a foothold. Once that happened, removing them would have been significantly more difficult. True, Reyes conceded, and we still have advantages they don't know about. Cato smiled. The Phantom fleet they've seen is only our first generation of ships. The Horizon-class vessels remain unknown. Reyes nodded, turning back to the screens showing Earth's representatives, confidently engaging with the galaxy's established powers. The deception had served its purpose, giving humanity time to develop, to build, to prepare. Now they stood ready to claim their place among the stars, not as anyone's colony or protectorate, but as equals. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. They wouldn't make that mistake again.